Notre Dame mood tracker time. Thermometer goes in the fan base. Raise the tongue. Let's pull it out. What are you guys feeling about Notre Dame? What is the middle 80% of the fan base feeling? This time last year, I talked at length, as everyone else was clowning themselves, about Brian Kelly's accent and his dancing in his recruiting videos. And I was sitting here talking about how, forget all that. Did we just see a win-win? Notre Dame fans were ecstatic with Marcus Freeman. LSU fans were ecstatic with Brian Kelly. We fast forward a year. Has anything changed? Not really. In fact, I think a lot of people feel validated in that. LSU certainly loves where they're at. Notre Dame, after they got off to a rocky start, they ended up with a 9-win season, and they went into the transfer portal and got the best quarterback in the transfer portal afterwards. They're recruiting very well, and they're recruiting well again this class. I think their mood right now is, we got ours. LSU feels the same way. It is, again, a reflection of one of the most rare occurrences in the coaching market, and that is the win-win. Everybody wins. Coach moves on, a really good one. And yet you already had the replacement in-house. That's the other thing. Notre Dame didn't have to do this massive coaching search. They had their head coach right there. He was on the same staff, as it turns out. So Marcus Freeman's elevated. And here's the added benefit. Freeman could go be a solid B-list actor, if not eventually an A-list actor. Because I've seen those commercials. I've seen those hype pieces Notre Dame put together last year. He's got the looks. He's got the chops. He's got the charisma. And Marcus Freeman chooses to grace us with his presence as a head coach. And if you don't know me better, you'd think I'm saying that sarcastically. I'm not, man. I appreciate him hanging around. Some coaches look like meatballs with arms extended out of the meatball. Marcus Freeman's a good-looking dude. And we are comfortable enough around here to say it. And he's the head coach at Notre Dame right now, and he is theirs. That's the attitude amongst Notre Dame fans. We got ours. They can keep Brian Kelly down there. We got ours. We got the dude we want. And I told you at the time, and I'll remind you, if you're not a Notre Dame fan, you don't think about this a lot. Notre Dame folks had a very interesting relationship with Brian Kelly. Because I've heard Lou Holtz talk about it before. And he's right, and he would know. He said there's a certain attitude you have to have towards the brand of Notre Dame to be an effective head coach at Notre Dame. Well, they didn't feel Kelly necessarily had that. And I don't think they're wrong. I think Brian Kelly looked at it a lot more transactional than in a pour your heart out and love it sort of deal. I think that he looked at it as a major job. And I'm a football coach at Notre Dame, but maybe I'm not Notre Dame and then football coach in that order. And the Notre Dame folks, they just want a certain kind of mentality. They want a guy who embraces all of what Notre Dame is. And Brian Kelly just said, I want to go play football. That's what I want to do. Marcus Freeman's all of it. Marcus Freeman is what they want. And Marcus Freeman had options. He has options. He chose Notre Dame. A lot of that staff stuck around. They chose Notre Dame. They're really into that up there, as they should be. As everyone should be. Notre Dame just takes it a little more serious than most. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So they're coming into this season. They got another shot at Ohio State this year at home. They go to Clemson. You know they play USC every year. So one way or another, Notre Dame's going to have a massive impact on the playoff picture this year. And then within the walls of Notre Dame, they listen to someone say that and they say, yeah, we're going to have an impact on the playoff picture, and we may be in the playoff picture. And then everyone goes, well, wait a second. Wow. Yeah, let me pay attention to them. Now, their win total is 8.5. Their odds to win the title are plus 2,500. They got a shot. You don't know who Marcus Freeman is as a head coach yet. How could you? He's 1 year in. You don't know what lessons he's learning. We don't even fully know what his profile is. And so you bring in the best quarterback in the transfer portal and you pair him up with an already really good roster that's not going anywhere because they're recruiting at a very high level. Let's see what they do this year. Sam Hartman, first in completions, career at Wake Forest. Pass touchdowns, most all time. Passing efficiency, most all time. Total touchdowns, most all time. Wake Forest. Was that a former president, right? President Forrest. I'm kidding. My humor hits 90% of you, but there's 10% of you that like the other day, I made the middleman joke. I used the Office quote, you wouldn't arrest a man for just delivering drugs from one person to another, would you? A cop came in the comment section. An actual police officer came in our comment section. and kindly but firmly pointed out, it's not a joke to some of us. My apologies. So, instead of just making veiled drug references, let me just put it to you like this. Marcus Freeman is a really good fit at Notre Dame. They know it. He knows it. The fan base loves it. That's the mood. We got ours. Bam. Kickoff 2023, about 100 days away.